What is going on, Lucid fans? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to talk to you on the strategic partnership that was just announced between Aston Martin and Lucid and how that might really look like and develop, and especially more so coming from Lucid's standpoint, really expedite on that lower price mid-size SUV or a lower price vehicle in general. But I want to talk on what that might look like, and over and above that, how that's really going to affect the stock price. So I'm going to go over all the stuff you need to know. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And without further ado, let's get right to it. So this rumor did in fact come out February the 10th. In this article, it talks on how behind the scenes of Aston Martin, things are really not working well. And of course, that could open up the opportunity for a partnership with, for instance, Lucid. And of course, one very big connection between the two, so Aston Martin and Lucid, is the PIF. So the PIF did make a pretty substantial position in Aston Martin recently in 2022 or mid-2022. But in this actual article, though, that came out February the 10th, it does talk on hypothetically that if there was a partnership between Lucid and Aston Martin, most likely the PIF would orient and have Aston Martin do anything as far as over $200,000 for a vehicle, and Lucid would cover anything below that. So of course, I think that basically is Lucid, what they already do with exception of the Sapphire, but generally speaking, Lucid's technology is the desirable factor that Lucid can bring to the table. And Aston Martin right now doesn't have any EVs. Based on this article, it does say that they want to actually have them on the actual table by 2026, I believe. But keep in mind, when this did come out, it was just very much a rumor. I did bring this up on potentially how there might be a third component to that, another joint venture with another company, but as far as what did come out, they didn't really refer to that. As far as right now, it's just technically Aston Martin and Lucid. This article did come out one day ago saying Aston Martin and Lucid partner with the PIF to revolutionize the EV market, which would be absolutely huge. And when it comes down to what is being done behind the scenes, it does say that the PIF is going to invest more than $1 billion in the two companies. So just as a starting point, any injection of capital causes the stock price to go up very, very fast. So anticipate that to really be built into what is going to be happening for next week for the price point. But in here also, they talk on something that is interesting. It says that the PIF is also wanting to develop new technology, new EV technology. So it begs the question that even though Lucid does have a fairly good competitive advantage to its competitors for its technology, but it looks like they want a whole new level of technology. And I do anticipate what they mean by that is in the whole Saudi Arabia, they're really ramping up the actual technology within the cities to accommodate, for instance, higher technology levels, and more specifically for EVs, higher levels of autonomous driving. And I think that's one thing that unfortunately is really lacking everywhere else in the world is just the higher level of autonomous driving. And in recent podcasts, they've said that technically without having cameras almost at every single corner, basically it doesn't really help autonomous driving. Of course, it can work to certain degrees, but not to its fullest capability. So this is where I do believe that they're really wanting to advance the whole EV sector, but more specifically Aston Martin and Lucid would still continue to manufacture high quality vehicles. So I think in general, this is very, very good. But because of this, they're also going to be saying that most likely it's going to be having cutting edge EV technologies. And also by that, it might actually help reduce more EV models out there. So in here it says the investment will also enable the companies to develop new EV models that are also more affordable and appealing to a broader audience. So this is where hypothetically Lucid would come into play. And what I want to do next is throw back a lot of old articles to you, but kind of is referencing this whole partnership and what that might mean for Lucid specifically. So I want to go back all the way to April 5th, 2021. So very, very long ago. Some of you might have not even been in Lucid at the time, but here they talk on how there is technically a mouth-watering, where was it right here? So a mouth-watering potential such as partnerships that would help them achieve that $25,000 vehicle. And coincidentally as well, they also talk on how without a partnership, they can achieve that $25,000 vehicle roughly in about 5 years, give or take. So around that 2026 timeframe based on this article. But if they had a partnership, then they could bump it up to roughly about 4, possibly 3 years. And that is largely because of technology sharing. So I don't think it's any mystery the fact that both of these old articles talk on a lower price vehicle, as does this new strategic partnership on potentially how they could develop new EV models to make a more affordable and appealing to the broader audience. So I think that is definitely something that might be coming over and above that mid-size SUV that's already been announced. That is around the $50,000 vehicle. I think that they want a sedan that is and can be around $25,000, because I know a lot of you say, well, we aren't in competition with anyone, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I honestly think that you want competition. You want to go up against the GMs, the actual Teslas of the whole EV sector. That's going to be a very competitive market in 2025 and onwards. And with Lucid's technology, or potentially this new technology that they talk on right here, then Lucid is going to stand out even more so. And again, when I did do the video talking on this article about potentially how Aston Martin and Lucid might be partnering, and how potentially there might be this Innovate Motors that does do lower price vehicles between the 23 to 25 or 32 and 44. In general, I did say that most likely it was going to be a 3-layered approach, but based on this article, it looks like it is just the 2. But in here, they also talk on how hypothetically they are going to also do joint ventures within the region, so to benefit the Middle East. So who knows exactly the breakdown of this, but no matter what, based on what we do know, there's going to be more than $1 billion injected within the two companies. So of course, like I mentioned already, hypothetically just factoring that in alone, stock price will go up. My own interpretation, who isn't a financial advisor, but the fact that they're talking on higher EV technologies being developed for Lucid, and maybe a lower price vehicle or just more options, I think this is going to really rally and cause a very good squeeze. And what I'll do, I'll just quickly go over to Ortex and just put it in perspective on potentially what there is to be squeezed. So short score is currently 82, utilization is 100%, and looking as far as how many shorts there are, 135 million shares are being shorted right now. So potentially with this news, next week will be very, very interesting. And not only that though, on the 22nd is their earnings. So I think it's going to be a very interesting week to say the least. So let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comments below. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. I also want to bring to your attention one thing. There is a good broker out there that's offering a very good promo right now, only up until February the 28th. So if you just sign up just as is, you get 1 free stock, and each stock could be valued up to $2,000. So if you want, just easily sign up, no harm, no foul, very easy. And if you want, throw $100 at it, you get additional 4 free stocks. So I think this is a pretty good no-brainer. And like I said, this is only until February the 28th. So make sure you guys take advantage of this discount while you can. And over and above that, if you do like my Lucid content and want to support the channel, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With that said, appreciate you guys watching. Let's all make a lot of money on Lucid.